All right, y'all, we are back with another video, and here we go again. So Donald Trump had a sit-down interview with Dr. Phil. I definitely need to go over that video. I think it's like about 20 minutes long. But I wanted to check this one out here by Liberal High because he said that Donald Trump blows Dr. Phil's mind in historic TV moment. And I can guarantee you, I bet that interview just went really, really good. Stuff like that. So we definitely have to check that out. But like I said, make sure y'all please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to everybody showing so much support. Everybody been leaving positive comments in the comment section. I also want to thank everybody who always watches until the end. It's very, very important to watch the entire video. Really helps the channel out a lot. We on the road to 700,000 subscribers. So if you are watching this and you are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with everything that's going on. And like I said, without further ado, let's go ahead and dive straight into this. Like I said before, please hit that like button as you go coming in. So let's go.
Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Well, it seems like it's happening, folks. Exactly what I was talking about, exactly what we were hoping for. Simply for Donald Trump to put himself out there, presenting himself to the world honestly. That's what's needed. You know, everybody's got this idea of who Trump is in their mind, but you can't let other people define you. You know, kind of like what's happening with Joe Biden, for instance. He's been defined, he's been declared as a dementia patient, and now, of course, the only way for him to disprove that is to go out into the world and give inspiring speeches coherently, you know, speak, do your job, give the people what they want, give them the goods. That's how I guess you dispel the rumors. Well, of course, we know Joe Biden doesn't have the ability to do that, but Donald Trump certainly does. The media has slapped so many labels on him. They've attempted to define him. He's this, he's that. You know, a lot of sticky labels thrown over the years, but nothing really sticking permanently. No permanent damage. It's all just surface level wear and tear. A couple of good events, sitting down in a long-form interview, a conversational platform, a podcast, whatever it is. A couple of those, you know, nothing a media tour can't dispel. I've been calling it the humanization of Donald Trump. Well, it continues. Election season started. The new strategy is show up everywhere and simply have an honest conversation. And boy, is it working. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape.
Let's go.
All right, folks, so I told you this stuff was good. Donald Trump makes a visit on Dr. Phil's show, a presidential special, and we were blessed with moments like these.
So watching your interview today, I think it actually gave me an interpretation that I've never had of him before, and us not seeing him more, it actually kind of hurts people on judging him. I guess if that's what the media wants to do, then they're doing a very good job at it.
Yeah, you bet. All right.
Wow.
Audience members shocked after watching the interview, saying publicly that it totally changed their perception on who Trump is. And of course, it's no wonder. And this is why this stuff is so important. This is why the media hates this so much. It's why they lash out when people give Trump this kind of platform.
But I think, and that means, I mean, it's going to be a challenge for those who are doing the debate in June. I mean, I think it's journalistic malpractice to do a live interview with President Trump on television.
George Stephanopoulos claims that it's journalistic malpractice to do a live interview with President Trump. You mean giving him an honest platform where he can speak and connect with the audience and be authentic, maybe at times slightly vulnerable? Yeah, that's journalistic malpractice. From his view, Donald Trump should only ever be represented through them as a proxy. Yeah, let us tell you the story. Don't do your own research, of course, like Brian Stelter warned you against. Just tune into George Stephanopoulos' show because he's doing real journalism where he could trash on Trump, only show you the fake conspiracies and the fake news nonsense. What Dr. Phil's doing, yeah, that's journalistic malpractice. What an absolute farce. What they're scared of is this.
When I mention the name Hillary in the previous to the last election, they said, lock her up, lock her up, lock her up. How would it look if I took a president of the United States wife and threw her into a prison? I hated it because I wanted to bring the country together, and I largely did. And I brought it together through success because it was the most successful economy in the history of our country. Okay. Now the difference is they're trying to do it to me. And maybe you could feel differently about it. but I don't feel differently. Conservative, liberal, I don't care. It's common sense. We need borders. We need low taxes. We need good education. We need a strong military. I rebuilt the entire military. The entire military was rebuilt. I built a wall that was so great, and I got Mexico to give us 28,000 soldiers while I was building the wall to keep people out. We didn't have what you have today. In 2016, I got elected maybe because of the border, but that border was a fraction. It was nothing compared to what the border is today, and I fixed it. And you know, in 2020 when I ran, I couldn't even talk about it. Nobody wanted to hear about the border because I fixed it. I'll fix it again. But the border today is many, many times worse than it was in 2016.
Well,
when you look at our job numbers, I rebuilt the military, largest tax cuts ever. Largest tax cuts, bigger than the Reagan tax cuts.
Yep.
Largest regulation cuts ever.
I'm staying with my why question because look at this. Everybody calls it inflation, but affordability. When we talk about gasoline, under your administration, averaged $2.57 a gallon. Under Biden, $3.61, 40% more. Under your administration, homes averaged $320,000. Under the Biden administration, 31% more, $420,000. Under your administration, interest rates 3.8 average. Under the Biden administration, 39% more at 5.3%. Okay, now let's look at the border. Under you, average 1.7 million border crossings. Their official number is 6.4. That's from Homeland Security. It's actually about 13 million because I know I've been to the border. I've talked to the border guards down there, Brandon Judd. I've talked to Jason Jones. I've talked to the people that actually know the numbers. They say it's between 10 and 13 million. So my point is, when you look at the actual numbers, plus the things you just talked about, lower taxes, higher tax revenue, you look at that and you would say, my God, he should be running unopposed. I mean, why?
A great show, a great conversation, but most importantly, great insight into a man running for president. That's what this is. We want to hear.
And the one thing, we don't trust nothing that George Stephanopoulos had to say. That's why Donald Trump was suing him and the ABC for them that egregious comment that he said about Donald Trump. I'm not even going to talk about it on here, but we all know what George Stephanopoulos said when he had that young lady on the show and tried to compare her with Donald. Like, it was a lot of crazy stuff. So I'm pretty sure they probably still in this lawsuit where Donald Trump did file a lawsuit on him and ABC for allowing that man to sit up there and say that type of stuff, and they let it go on and didn't stop him. So we don't trust nothing that George Stephanopoulos had to say, you know what I'm saying? So, but that right there is just crazy. Now, obviously, we just seen the numbers. You see, like, the difference in the numbers, like when you can buy a house under Trump, like I said, when like you was able to afford groceries, gas wasn't so high. Like I said, inflation was lower up under Trump. So this right here proves everything why Joe Biden needs to be out of office. He needs to be gone. And I can guarantee you, no matter what they try to do to Donald Trump, we will win. Trump 2024. I don't care what anybody say. Joe Biden is destroying this country. I know it, and everybody that's watching me know it, and everybody around the world know it, that Joe Biden is destroying this country. And if we want to save it, we have to get Donald Trump back in office. We got to get him back in office if we want to save this country. Because if not, we are done.
The ideas. We want to see the guy, where he's at mentally, where he's at emotionally. What's the message that he's sending? What's he focused on in terms of policy, in terms of what he thinks the country's priorities are? That's what people are looking for. And that's exactly what they got there. A good conversation that spanned over a long period of time that went into detail on all kinds of different topics. What I showed you was the little layer of oil above the hot broth. That's what they don't want you to see. That's the stuff they're scared of. They don't want people to know that there's a whole deep well full of this stuff, that Trump is actually not a bad guy, and that a lot of the things that he says, well, they actually make sense.
They do.
They don't want you to know the truth. That's why they never show you stuff like this.
When I told Donald Trump about my wife, that she had cancer, he's called my wife not once, 7 times. You didn't have to do that.
Now you see something like that. I remember because I covered this stream right here. Stuff like this is with CNN, MSNBC, ABC. None of them will show this. They don't want to show the good. And see, it's always good in Donald Trump. But see, the thing is, they want to try to find something negative about him all the time. They just look for they look for sound bites. They look if they feel like he said something wrong. That's what they want. They ain't gonna show nothing like this. But if Joe Biden did this, it'll be all over CNN about Joe Biden. You know what I'm saying? Like visit this man's wife and stuff like that. Oh, they have been showing if it was Joe Biden, but see. This right here had aired, so why isn't CNN, ABC, why ain't none of them covered this? Why they ain't showed this? Because they don't want to show this. They just want to try to, all they want is negative things about Donald Trump. They want to make everything negative about this man. That's the only thing they want to show on their network. And I agree with Liberal High Mind. They won't show stuff like this. They would not show anything like this.
You to know the truth. That's why they never show you stuff like this.
And when I told Donald Trump about my wife, that she had cancer, he's called my wife not once, 7 times. You didn't have to do that. So all the media up there, they badmouth me every day. I love the media that badmouths me because my polls keep going up. So keep badmouthing me. You're doing him a favor, too.
Yep.
Keep badmouthing.
No, they'll tell you Donald Trump's an evil, selfish man who only thinks about himself. And they want so badly to preserve that narrative that they're willing to say...
And I'm going to tell you one other thing. If that man would have got up there and said that Donald Trump didn't call, didn't check on his wife, he didn't care, now if he would have said all of that, it'd have been on CNN the next day. I guarantee you if that man would have said anything different than where he just said that Donald Trump was calling, checking in on his wife, if he would have said anything different that Donald Trump didn't care or something like that, it'll be all over CNN, all over MSNBC. I can guarantee you that. But since it wasn't like that and it was positive that Donald Trump was actually checking in and stuff like that, they ain't going to show that. They don't want to talk about that.
That basic journalism, open conversation with people that they dislike is, quote, journalistic malpractice. They're also totally willing to censor their political opponents using social media companies as another proxy of power. Surprise, surprise, really no surprise to anyone. Dr. Phil's interview with Donald Trump, his presidential special, ran into some issues on a certain social media platform.
I'll tell you what, we put up promos on the social media platforms about the interview for people to watch, submitted a promo to TikTok. They said, well, we need to review this to see if it's consistent with community standards. It was just the promo here. I mean, it wasn't saying let's go stomp baby kittens to death or anything. Usually the review is like 10 seconds because they run through like an algorithm or something, and an hour later, the message came back rejected. They would not put it up, and which is really disturbing to me because it was just a news promo. It was just a news promo, but they wouldn't put it up because it had Trump in it. They didn't even know if it was pro or con. It had Trump in it. They wouldn't put it up. That's concerning to me.
They pulled his ads off the TikTok platform. How utterly insane is that? I mean, the agenda's on full display. They don't want you to see Donald Trump in his authentic form. They want to be able to tell the story. They don't want you to be able to perceive.
That right there is crazy. Pull the ad. Oh my God. Well, where does this word coming through? I want y'all to listen to what Liberal High Mind and Dr. Phil just said again. Listen to this right here again. I'm going to go to the last little part.
10 seconds because they run through like an algorithm or something, and an hour later the message came back rejected. They would not put it up, and which is really disturbing to me because it was just a news promo. It was just a news promo, but they wouldn't put it up because it had Trump in it. They didn't even know if it was pro or con. It had Trump in it, they wouldn't put it up. That's concerning to me.
They pulled his ads off the TikTok platform. How utterly insane is that? I mean, the agenda's on full display. They don't want you to see Donald Trump in his authentic form. They want to be able to tell the story. They don't want you to be able to perceive the story that plays out in front of you. They want to skew the public's perception. They want to control the image, control the narrative, and most importantly, control those in power. They're trying so badly to destroy him, and most importantly, to deperson and dehumanize him. They want to remove him from the process, exile him from society. They want you to view him as a vile evil, not human, an alien entity that white blood cells must attack. That's what they want you to think. They want to completely annihilate him, but instead people are warming up to him, and he's getting a fair shot. And instead of bankrupting him, instead of destroying his campaign and destroying his business in New York, I mean, he's raking in like never before.
And by the way, right after the announcement of this, more campaign funds were given to this campaign than any campaign they think in history.
Yep, it was.
Almost $400 million.
$400 million in a single week fundraising. The guy's breaking records. He's connecting with voters. He's pulling in money out the frickin' wazoo. We're seeing something here. I just don't want to define it until every chapter of the historic tale has been written to completion. Next chapter, November 2024.
Wow. There we go right there, man. Thank you all for watching. Obviously, man, like Dr. Phil was in shock himself. Like TikTok pulled the ads from the video. That right there was just crazy. That was crazy. But like I said, I definitely want to go over the whole entire video. I think it was long. I know I said 19 minutes in the beginning. I think it's like an hour and something. Because I seen like 2 separate videos. I think it's like an hour and something. But if y'all want me to live stream that, like go live and react to that whole Dr. Phil interview with Donald Trump, let me know in the comment section. We can definitely check it out. But like I said, shout out to Dr. Phil. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.